Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2, LGD International facing off against Neolution International, an all-international affair, you might say, but we're currently locked in it in the G1 League qualifiers, phase number 2. The top 4 teams from this phase will move on into phase number 3, where the likes of Orange, LGD, China, IG, as well as DK are all waiting for them. Basically, 4 of the top dogs from Asia in that phase 3, and then from that, only a total of 4 of the 8 remaining teams will emerge. But before we get there, we got to get through this series. I'm LD, I'm joined here by Lumi, and we are going to cast the G1 League right now. Before I let Lumi talk, I just want to give you guys one more reminder that G1 has an English coverage website, and they would really appreciate it if you would go watch there. It's basically their #1 concern with the Western audience is to get as much traffic on that website as possible. The website, for those who haven't heard of it before, is G1.2p.com. So if you're hoping to see English coverage of the G1 League in the future, if you're hoping to see Western teams in the G1 League in the future, which you will, not even counting LG International, but you'll have the Western qualifier later in the coming weeks and months. Well, if you want to see more of that, go watch on their website, support them directly, G1.2p.com. You can not only watch our stream there, but you can also watch, well, AC stream as well as Vlad stream if you prefer a little Russian casting. So, with all that being said, Lumi, game 1 was a stomp. Are you expecting anything different in game number 2? Okay, no Lumi. I can't hear you.
Hey!
Oh, nice of you to join me.
Yeah, I was talking my head off, but one thing I do want to add to you talking about the West qualifiers for the G1 League, that is literally Christmas or Chinese New Year or Hanukkah, whatever you want to celebrate and you love that holiday of the year. That's it for me, because seeing the best of the West versus the best of East in a LAN environment, it's like TI2, it's like TI3, and of course, if you want to see more of that, if you want to see it possible, go to that website that LD just talked about. Make sure that G1 League knows that there is Western participation, Western support for the G1 League.
Yeah, you might think it's crazy, but they barely even care at all about the Dota TV ticket sales. Obviously, they appreciate and they benefit a little bit whenever you buy one, but what they keep on coming back to me and talking to me about is not the Dota TV ticket and how well it's selling, it's the website traffic. So if you want to support them, G1.2p.com. And of course, well, if you have any issues with the website, things that you would like them to improve, reasons why you're not going there, just email them to us, bts@beyondthesummit.tv, or really that's the best way to do it. That way we'll have a log of everything, and we can of course work with them. They've already made some changes, like making the video pop out, and they're going to basically do everything they can to make it as good a viewing experience for you guys as possible. So if you're watching on Twitch TV, you're doing it wrong, guys. But anyway, Lumi, inside the draft, we're going to see a different opening this time. NeoEnt, they don't go for the Lone Druid, but instead they will start with the Lifestealer pick, and now LGD.int says, fine, we're going to pick a Clockwork. And are we going to see that tri-lane clock, something they like to run a lot back in the G League groups, or do you think it'll be a solo? I guess it's a bit early to tell, but they have that versatility.
If they want to run the tri-lane clock, they definitely can do it with the Rubik. Generally, they run it with a Shadow Demon to open that one up. And Shadow Demon would be a very, very good pickup if they reach the second or the last pick of the first stage, especially when it's against a Lifestealer. With that said, Neolution, one of those teams, seems to love the Queen of Pain and Puck. And Lifestealer, well, combos very well with that. Just get that instant initiation, jumps in. And these squishy heroes like Rubik gets really in big trouble when Lifestealer jumps on top of you.
Yeah, let's see what they actually go for here. They could even go for something like Alina as well on the side of NeoEnt, just getting that follow-up stun for the Lifestealer open wounds, but nothing selected just yet. They really struggled on the tri-lane. They are going to grab the Shadow Demon, so not so the LGD will have at their disposal, but they could look at Alina or Leshrac if they want to run it as a tri-lane, or perhaps we see them get that solo. Something maybe like the G Templar Assassin, something he's run in the past. The Panda Brewmaster, obviously a strong choice. I wonder what kind of style they're going to execute. Ooh, interesting. So the Weaver is the pick, and I'm not sure. I didn't get to watch the GST Challenge. I was actually casting the G1 League Phase 1 qualifiers, but are they tri-laning this, or are they running it as one of their side solos?
They could do it both, and that's kind of the dangerous strat of the LGD.int. And it's not like they prefer one over the other either. You could run the Clock tri-lane, you could run the Reaver tri-lane, and they're both just so good. Now, obviously, it's a different playstyle. Weaver's going to be going like guerrilla warfare in a sense. You go back and forth, Sakuchi, get these free kills here and there, and Clockwork's kind of in your face, walking with cogs, and they basically outlast you in that sense. And of course, Weaver's going to be quote-unquote a counter pick to that Lifestealer. He could open wounds, he could rage and all that stuff, but Weaver doesn't really care. He runs around. And he's going to be somewhat survivable against heroes like Queen of Pain, provided you could actually backtrack a lot of that damage. If you survive that initial combo, obviously. So we're in the second ban stage, and it's going to be very, very important for LGD to ban out that Lina as Shadow Demon. There you go, immediate ban out. Soul Catcher plus Laguna means a dead Weaver, as well as dead just about any hero, other hero.
Yeah, I mean, you could even run the Clockwork in a tri-lane with the Weaver and Rubik. It sounds a little funky, but support clock can be very strong. We've seen that in some games in the past. Just spamming the cogs constantly, denying the supports any sort of mana, and hey, if you get 5-second cog on an enemy hero, they die real easy to that, especially if it's a squishy support. So we will see. As for NeoEnt, their options are wide open. They can go aggressive tri-lane, they can play defensive tri-lane, they could run a Lifestealer, Queen of Pain as 2 solos and have dual roam going on. The options for this team are wide open. For LGD.int, well, if they want, they could run their sort of their signature strategy with that Chen or Enchantress. Those are both available this game. So for both teams, they have a lot of options in terms of the laning stage. Nothing is really decided just yet, and I think Neolution.int has started with a slightly more stable draft. Lone Druid, a hero that's very potent in the Chinese scene, but also vulnerable in the laning stage. Lifestealer, a little bit more, just press the rage button and you're probably getting out alive, potentially even turning the fights around. So I think it's a safer opening for them. And I hear that Ninja Boogie's had a lot of success on personally in the past. I seem to remember like an 800, 900 gold per minute game from him on that Lifestealer lately, or in the past. I doubt we'll see it this game, but it's a hero he's pretty comfortable with, and we'll see how it fares against that Weaver if he does get that matchup.
Do you know if G plays a puck? I'm not sure exactly what the puck ban is about.
I imagine he does.
Okay.
I can't recall seeing it from him, but certainly a hero that I would expect G to be able to play.
Yeah, judging from this game's bans as well as last game's bans, I'm not exactly sure how much homework that Neolution have done. They seem to be banning basically heroes that they see LGN play very commonly, but it feels like they're not banning a hero that's going to be partnering very well with this particular strat. Not to say that I know exactly what LGD.int wants to do. I feel like if they let's say go Chen and Beastmaster here, it's going to be so good in terms of early game aggression, which is what they want to do, as well as providing that necessarily lockdown from the Beastmaster war against Lifestealer, against the Queen of Pain, which is going to be a very, very good way to kill these heroes as well. That's my guess in terms of what they're going to be picking next, and it seems like Neolution doesn't think so, as they don't ban out those heroes.
Yeah, they ban out the Undying, so, well, maybe a little bit worried about that aggressive tri-lane with the Weaver or the Clockwork. Either one, very, very potent. And a lane that's just annoying to deal with. I imagine we're going to see the Weaver matched up versus the Lifestealer. That's kind of the ideal way to do it, since he's so hard to kill. Even when he gets open woods, just Sakuchi on out of there. Can be disrupted to follow up, but if you have any sort of support, they can allow him to disengage all the same. And, well, both teams heavy emphasis on banning those follow-up supports. The Lina, the Leshrac, the Sand King, and then to a lesser extent, you can even view Undying as a follow-up support, just with constant decay spam and dropping the Tombstone. So basically 4 strong tri-lane supports, actually 5 counting the Jakiro, all getting banned here. It shows these teams primarily worried about the tri-lane. LGD.int just wanting to have the advantage there, and NeoEnt worried about getting dominated in the tri-lane like they did last game.
Yeah, speaking of tri-lane, a very good tri-lane hero still, or a solo hero here. Ooh. That's not what I was going to say. Invoker's going to pick up here, and there's a big smile on my face because he's a very, very difficult hero to lane well, particularly with what Neolution's got so far. And I'm not exactly sure if he could beat a very, very good Beastmaster, say mid. I was going to say that Darkseer is still in the pool, and he's one of those heroes that I don't think LGD Gaming will pick up. If they do pick it up, it's most likely mid. But kind of
we'll see.
To see that hero.
I kind of like the Invoker pick because it gives you that potential advantage in the tri-lane. We saw last game, Prophet wasn't needed, but when he showed up, he just made life a whole lot easier. And I mean, Invoker, somewhat the same thing. You could call down the artillery support, the Sunstrike's arriving in the lane. We'll see how he gets played. Not the strongest solo mid, not the strongest 1v1 in the laning stage, although I have seen strong Invoker players like XY from Zenith dominate his matchup 1v1, even against a hero like Queen of Pain, going Quas Wex. So it is possible to win your lane as Invoker nowadays. Normally you want to get an early null talisman, as it just gives you a lot of necessary total +9 damage, counting the stats as well as the plus damage, and that'll help shore you up. But yeah, I mean, not a dominant solo mid, not a hero that does particularly well against Darkseer in lane, and with the nerf to Tranquil Boots, that's going to make Darkseer even stronger in the 1v1 matchup. So I imagine whoever's going to lane against him has their work cut out for him, and this may discourage Neolution.int from actually running an aggressive tri-lane.
Yeah, to make a guess here of what Invoker's build is going to be, I'm going to say it's actually Extort, because you have the Shadow Demon setup here, right? Shadow Demon Soul Catcher
Right.
plus a Sunstrike, which is pure damage. That's pretty insane as well. Clock, of course, Cogs are nice to actually shut somebody down for 5 seconds, but not when there's a Sunstrike aiming down your face.
Could be a death trap.
Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of free setup for that Invoker, and of course, Exort is going to be the quote-unquote better laning spell, as it does give you a ton of right-click power. So we'll see. Good old Invoker is going to make a comeback. Again, it's going to be very difficult to lane this because
of the Darkseer pick. I mean, for me, the Darkseer pick is what makes it difficult, because
Sure, yeah.
Who's going to lane against him? I guess you put Queen of Pain there, but then your Invoker's mid, and he's not really a dominant mid in most cases, and then your Queen of Pain is going to be taking a lot of pressure, not really able to leave the lane. So maybe they look to just go run the tri-lane against the Darkseer. But
I think Darkseer is going mid.
You think it's going to be G taking mid?
Yeah, he's going to be pushing that creep lane like crazy, and even farming that level 1 neutral. That's what he loves to do. And of course, when you have heroes like Clockwork and Weaver that are better on the offlane, maybe those two will go on the offlane. But obviously, Darkseer is, the premier offlane hero. So we'll see how it goes. And it's going to be a Dazzle. So that's going to be something very, very nice as well. When your allies getting trapped by that Cogs, well, your Grave on top plus things like Weave, that's pretty nice.
It's even stronger too, because Shadow Demon creates illusions, so then the heal's going to bounce through them. It does bonus damage. This is something that we saw from LGD.int back in the G League group stages. They ran a Shadow Demon Dazzle +1 tri-lane, and Disruption into Weave actually does pretty filthy damage at the early levels. A lane that could just flat out kill this Weaver if he ever goes in too far, and I think it could be a very potent tri-lane. The big question is, how are they going to lane this? Can they dodge having their Queen of Pain up against the strong tri-lane, or the Invoker having too much trouble against Darkseer? That's going to be sort of the weak spot, is this Darkseer, wherever he goes, is going to have a whale of a time. But I still think NeoES.int a pretty solid draft and an interesting final pick with this Dazzle.
Yeah, a lot better draft in game 1 in my opinion. What NeoES.int wants right now is to go tri-lane against tri-lane, to basically go solo against solo in all lanes. They don't flat out win those lanes, but they have the best chances at doing so compared to LGD.int. LGD.int still has very, very powerful lanes. It's going to be a Templar Assassin, so I now have absolutely no idea how these lanes going to be.
It's going to be Pycat taking that solo role. It looks like it will be the Brax tri-lane Darkseer, perhaps, and then the G Templar Assassin. Or no, support Darkseer, Brax Clockwork. So tri-lane Darkseer Clockwork Rubik. Luby, this is something that we saw yesterday, wasn't it? The Clockwork Darkseer combo. I think I was casting with you.
Well, I was here, but not really here.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, so we cast yesterday. It was it was Rattlesnakes, I believe.
No, that was the day before. I did not cast Rattlesnake.
Okay, maybe it wasn't you then. Maybe it was me and Gods. But there's this Clockwork Darkseer dual lane, which is surprisingly strong and actually just won against the tri-lane. If you throw Rubik on top of that, very potent. So this is something that we saw out of, was it Lanham's new team or is it King J's new team? I can't remember, to be totally honest with you guys, but
King J's For Love, Rattlesnake is
maybe it was For Love, actually. It was either For Love or it was Rattlesnakes, but one of them was running this Clockwork Darkseer dual lane, and it was really strong. So let's see if we get that. For the moment, looks like we won't. Looks like it'll be a defensive tri-lane.
Well, defensive tri-lane, exactly. A little bit more standard, if you will, here. And you were saying Weaver Clock tri-lane, and it's going to be it. Misery playing that Clock here on the top. It's going to be Pycat on that farming Weaver. We have 1437 on the support Rubik. And, of course, on the mid lane, it's going to be G's Templar Assassin, which is going to be a very interesting lane to talk about here against the fourth question mark Queen of Pain. And Brax going the long lane here with Darkseer.
Oh, this is going to be a hard lane for Blah. Sure, you have Quas Invoker. You can get some additional regen if you... Normally, you'd go for at least a few points once you see it's Darkseer. But still, even so, I mean, Tranquil Boots have been nerfed, so you can't rely on those. And you're going to have to spend quite a bit of regen to deal with the Ion Shell dive. Plus, you're slow. And that's how they were a double Ion Shell Darkseer. And you don't have a way to stop a push easily. So we might see some early deaths on this Darkseer. Or on this Invoker, if Brax is able to play it properly. At best, Invoker will live, but he ain't leaving the lane, and he's probably going to be getting out-farmed here as well. Fighting under his tower for last hits. Is probably going for the early Null Talisman, we'll see, but he'll need every bit of damage to deal with this lane. And over on the side of Neolution, of course, we're going to have 4 question marks. Handling that Queen of Pain going mid. Blah on the safe lane, Invoker. Ninja Boogie on the offensive tri-lane. Lifesteal, we have Lei playing that Dazzle. And last but not least, it is going to be Harchiko on that support Shadow Demon. And off the bat, well, their tri-lane does look quite a bit stronger. Disruption into that wave does a lot of damage. Or Shadow Wave, I should say. It does a lot of damage.
Yeah, normally as the Weaver, you get disrupted. You don't really care because you'll Sakuchi right after you basically get out for free. But against this particular lineup, disruption, creating those illusions, a Shadow Weave on top, that damage, Invis or not, will hit you. The Sunstrike, Invis or not, will hit you. So if the Radiant combos it perfectly, it doesn't matter if you have Sakuchi, you will still die. So I'm not sure if that's exactly what they plan during the pick phase, but that's what they have on their hands if they want to use it. Looks like the two supports running into each other in misery, though, taking a lot of pot shot damage. Clockwork generally a very tanky hero, but because he doesn't have Stout Shield, he's getting a little bit bullied around by the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, something I'm surprised we haven't seen more from our Templar Assassin players is taking Meld at level 1 against Creed of Pain, because if you're quick enough, you can just Meld dodge the Shadow Strike and not take any harassment. It's something that Mushi was doing a lot of. Granted, G has much higher ping, I imagine, than what Mushi would on a Singapore server, but I'm a little surprised we haven't seen it at all, as, well, that level 1 refraction isn't really that strong anyway, especially against the damage over time of the Shadow Strike. But G now taking it at level 2, and I imagine we'll see him looking to Meld dodge some of these Shadow Strikes. Off the bat, 6 and 3 for the Queen of Pain, so 4 question marks, getting the edge in his lane, and you can see some nice play by Brax being efficient in that off lane, not only getting the creep skipping farm, but now actually farming the enemy pole camp. We've seen a lot of players play this off lane Darkseer, but this is probably just about the most efficient way to do it on the Dire side.
Brax coming around here, and you can see that Blah taking a lot of damage. As you were talking about the Maelstrike dodge, we did see G doing a couple of that against this Shadow Strike on the mid lane. The reason that you don't generally get level 1 is if you skill that too early and you see Queen of Pain with a Sentry Ward being provided by a support, then you just a little bit facepalm.
Oh yeah, you want to see their inventory first to be sure.
Right. Then you just lose the lane flat out because you don't have refraction. But yeah, it is going to be Sunstrike here on Blah, and we'll see exactly when the initiation comes. They could go on whoever they want, including on Pycat, and they will get that kill for sure if you get the disruption into Weave into Sunstrike combo, or not Weave, Shadow Wave. So we'll see if that's what they're going to be going. As you can see, that Shadow Demon's running in so aggressively, and he doesn't even care if they start fighting him. Nice anti-pull going on here by Neolution, looking a lot better in game number 1.
Yeah, the X Factor will probably be Brax for LGD, and already up to 17 CS. Still good CSing under the tower from Blah so far. Got to give him credit for that. He hasn't taken any points at Quas, but he'll have to take some soon, and he will do so now as he's out of regen Lumi. Already chewed through those salves, that salve and those tangos, and gonna make the lane a little bit harder for him. G got the Invis rune mid, comes back to the lane, and now we're gonna see him doing a little bit of bottle crowing. He's gonna need that courier pretty much constantly, but the good news is Brax doesn't really need it, so he can get away with constant bottle crowing. And look at Blah, missing last hits under the tower to try and contest this pull. This could be a in fact, I would say is a mistake, because he's not gonna outlast hit that Ion Shell early on in most cases.
Yeah, I mean, Brax. Oh,
he's missing a full wave.
Up top here, or mid lane, excuse me. As you can see, oh, Shadow Demon self-disrupt, not able to make it out. Gee, a big chasing went from the top lane to mid. I hope you caught most of that.
But, no, I was watching bottom, man. Watching the antics. Sorry about that, guys. We've been pretty good so far, but a little bit of missed action there. Lei now getting body blocked by Pycat. Body block some more into the cogs, and, well, he's dead. There ain't no way out of here. He'll go down as well. So 2 kills off the bat from LGD.int. Suddenly 6 heroes mid. I have no idea how that happened. I guess there's a bit of a chase through the woods, but yeah, kind of unusual. And this Radiant Ward may be getting dewarded right now. Indeed it is. So 1437 knows what's up. He'll get rid of that. And a Wild Courier appears, heading towards bottom with the Soul Ring. 4 question marks, just checking the room, not going to go for that. Brax just pulling and pulling. He's already level 5.5. This just shows you the power of Darkseer in the off lane. If you play it properly and you're creep skipping official, you can get so much out of this hero. Invoker's doing pretty well as well, just in the lane, but I mean, Brax, look at his CS, 25 to the 15 of the Invoker. Even with some of those neutrals, that's a lot. Top lane Pycat in some trouble. Actually gonna live. Oh, the Sakuchi just cooling down in the nick of time. That was close, though.
I mean, that tri-lane, this Radiant tri-lane has to actually get off that combo perfectly. I heard Sunstrike on top. I don't think the Sunstrike actually hit on Pycat, so he's going to survive. You talked about the creep sweep on Brax on the bot lane. It's the way that he's creep skipping as well. He pulls 1 or 2 lane towards his hero and then pulls it towards the neutral camp, in which case the neutral camp will actually tank that creep slit, and then he's going to iron shot basically everything. So he's just basically farming the lane and the jungle at the same time with the same iron shot.
And Blah,
it's really insane.
I'm just watching Blah right now, trying to chase him down, but you really just have to sit at tower and get your own last hits. And he keeps on trying to chase, but he's not going to be able to stop Brax. His tower's taking a ton of damage, and he has gone for a point in Wex. He knows he might need that Ghost Walk to get out of harm's way if the dive will come. At some point, we got to expect that's a possibility. Still no movement out of the mid lane from Queen of Pain and Templar Assassin. This is that point where perhaps G or 4 question marks looks to get active around the map. And so far, a big lead for LGD.int off the back of that first blood and those kills, and just the efficient farmer Brax in the off lane. That's what's making the difference. And now top lane, maybe looking to go here. We're looking at a disruption potentially any second now. On to 1437, Rage, as well as the open wounds. Actually, sorry, no Rage, didn't get it off. Now Lei, the first one to drop. The trade on the Rubik, 1-for-1 so far, but the chase on Harchiko. Trying to TP out in the trees. It looks like he will escape. And now it's just Ninja Boogie needs to back the hell out. So trading, not too bad for them, all things considered. Tier 1 falls bottom, not denied successfully by Blah. We still haven't really seen those Sunstrikes in action successfully. And Brax up to level 7. Tranquil Boots, Soul Ring, Ring of Regen. Now he'll be going for the mech. And meanwhile, a Wild Queen of Pain appears in the river. Uh-oh. Battery Assault. Queen of Pain throws her ult, doesn't blink away, but the man up is there, blinks away now. Props the regen rune. What a play from 4 question marks, living through it all, killing the clockwork against 4 heroes, or 3 heroes descending on her with that Sunstrike, the artillery support, and now 1437 in a little bit of trouble here. He might get caught out. I'm not sure if we're going to see a commitment from 4 question marks, but he's got... No, he's not going to go in. I thought he could have made it go there, but plays it safe.
Yeah, I don't think he actually sees him running around like that, but Queen of Pain, lucky...
just to the left.
Yeah, picking up that kill and having the regen route, getting her right back in the lane, not missing a beat of action. So very, very nicely done. G falling a little bit behind now since that kill, but should be relatively fine bottom crawling still. But really the big issue for me is that the Invoker hasn't done a single thing in this game so far. Has dropped a couple of Sunstrikes, but missed most of them. And still losing this lane badly to Brax.
And Brax continues to be efficient. He's stacking the enemy jungle mid lane. A bit of a man up here from 4 question marks, who definitely needs to woman down. But here comes the Sunstrike combo. Oh man, it's going to land. Refraction back online. That should be safety for G. And now the retreat for our Queen of Pain. Blinks away. No hookup yet. In fact, Misery's only level 3. The traps fly out. 3 heroes mid. 4 question mark, maybe looking to go again. The refraction reapplied, but now gonna start taking the tower. The rocket finishes the kill. G goes down. Not a good trade at all. And we might even see a further commitment. There is 6 wand charges, 1437. No stick charges for him. Misery on the chase. The lift back in. The cogs to push him away will blink back into the tower. With the stick charges, enough to survive, not enough to get an additional kill. But look at Brax. Farming now the enemy big cap up to level 8. This is going to be one of the fastest mechs you'll ever see on the Darkseer, and just what we talked about in the draft, they had no way to punish this pick, no way to really shut it down.
Yeah, I mean, laning the trialing against it, but you know, the way that Brax is playing right now, Blah is just having a very, very tough time, which is a lot to say. This is an Exhort Invoker with phase speed. Look at his plus damage. This is really high, but you just can't actually beat Iron Show. It's just insane.
Yeah, I mean, even though he's getting the last hits now, he was missing a lot earlier trying to contest the pulls from Brax, which I don't really think that's the best way to play it. I think you're better off just last hit under the tower, personally, is really, what are you going to do when Darkseer pulls the wave over here and he's got double Ion Shell in the creeps? Realistically, you're not Outlast hitting that early on. Would see if the phase boots, perhaps, but he allowed the tower to take a little bit of additional damage, and, well, we're going to go bottom lane onto our Darkseer, who will be Cold Snap, trying to surge away, needs another auto attack. Cold Snap will wear off, not able to get the kill, even with the rotation from Harchiko. And meanwhile, top lane, they thinking about a go on Ninja Boogie here. Misery, only level 4 though. Rockets to fly it. If they can cog him, well, he may be able to infest on out. And with the chat Dazzle here in support, looks like no action for the moment. But 72 CS on Brax, and it's not just the CS. Look at the gold. I mean, once he gets this mech, then they can really start taking these fights. Like that fight mid, they could have dove the tier 2 easily with the mech.
Yeah, I mean, the mech, at this point, really basically nullified Queen of Pain's a lot of her nuking. And of course, Block can't even stay in the lane anymore, worrying about the dive that's going to be coming in. And good thing, because 1437 in position with the Brute to Speed and Telekinesis. In which case, up on top, though, Pycat, his 2 supports has roamed off. But here's the benefit of playing Weaver. You don't really care when his support roams off. You say, all right, more XP for me, as he's still lasting very comfortably under a tower.
Looking at the gold lead as we're having a bit of a lull in the action here. Brax and his team, I mean primarily Brax's farm, the reason they're ahead. They're going to go on Misery. We'll talk about the gold in a second, but they're about a 3k lead right now. There's your slow, your poison touch. Now the Sunstrike to follow up. Misery going to get blown up. The Shadow Wave finishes the kill. Harchiko graved a bit early. Oh, he'll TP out. I think he's going to get away. He'll be absolutely fine. Nice play for there. Ninja Boogie already popped in Fest. Has 50 wand charges. He should live, but the question is, how long will he live for? In comes 4 question marks. Unloads the ult. Only catches 2. Pycat going to time-lapse his way out of this one. Ninja Boogie got the stick charges. Pops them now. Gets trapped again. Will rage out of that slow. Think he'll be able to escape here, but G says no. I'm getting this kill. I'm manning up. I am G. Hear me roar. And he'll be Shadow Striked under the tower. Now the aggression done. Ninja Boogie down to about 150 HP. They want to go back in. They want to go back in on G. Do they have detection? They don't. So really no point. Meanwhile, mid lane, Brax, he's done his creep skipping bottom. He's going to head mid, look for another tier 1. Rockets to fly. Oh! It's Ninja Boogie, but it's only, I guess, a level 1 rocket. Level 2. so not enough.
Man, it was really, really close. Oh, question mark on the run. Will blink out. I gotta say, that ultimate from the Queen of Pain, very, very questionable. It hit a refracted Templar Assassin as well as a Weaver that could backtrack, and that's exactly what happened. So 0 damage being done. G backtracks another.
Yeah, nice Mel dodging from him. You really see the power of that ability to deal with Shadow Strike. And I'm not convinced about the Invoker. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's doing enough. And I feel the main reason is it was up against the Darkseer pick. It's just a hero that puts so much pressure on you in the lane. It's even hard just to focus on finding those openings for Sunstrike. Maybe if you're Ice, but we haven't really seen too many kills so far from this. And also, heroes like Weaver as well as Templar Assassin are just fantastic for getting out of those Sunstrike kills. They take a bunch of damage normally, but no, Refraction's there to block it. The time-lapse is there to basically backtrack it and make it nullify it. And Darkseer, too tanky at this point. Can't really be burst down without a Demonic Purge. And, well, good luck with that Demonic Purge, as currently our Shadow Demon City at level 3, nowhere near it.
Yeah, the lineup was designed to basically spiral out of control at that level 1, level 2 engagement once you have the Sunstrike up, and then you go with Shadow Demon, Soul Catcher, Weave, Poison Touch, boom, Sunstrike should be the kill right there. That never really happened till like minute basically 8 or 9, and by that point, you know, a lot of the enemy heroes will be survivable enough to tank that initial big barrage of spells. I mean, again, the Tri-Lane versus Tri-Lane fight should not actually have happened on the mid lane. I still don't know how it went there. It should have been a very clean kill up top for the Radiant, and that never happened. So this Tri-Lane is really getting slowly whittled away by Weaver's mobility.
Yeah, we can't comment on that too much as well. We missed it. Sorry, but
that's where you need an instant replay.
We'll have it, man. We will have it, but not today, unfortunately. We need some extra equipment for that one, and something we definitely want to be able to do, even if it's kind of a ghetto MacGyver setup at first, but even something like what Armageddon did, which was a bit of a ghetto instant replay. But instant replay is instant replay. Is instant freaking replay at the end of the day. Guys, if you're just tuning in, this is game number 2. LGD International currently leading this best of 3, 1-0 against neolution.int, who are now finding themselves on the ropes. The winner of this series moves on to face the winner of Vici Gaming versus Real our next best of 3. That'll be coming up a little bit later today in about, I think it's 4 hours time, or 4 hours and 50 minutes or so. A while off at that. Or maybe it's 3 hours, but it's a while basically after the series. So we'll see how long the series goes for. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're going to descend on Brax here, but I don't think they have the damage to bring him down. They're going to try. Let's see how much they have. There's the Meteor. Actually, who am I kidding? They do, but they give up 1 in the process. The Ion Shell just doing work, and the Rocket as well. And here comes the backup. The Cavalry have arrived. 1437. Going to start with the lift into the cogs. Oh boy, that's a cute little combo. And Lei, he can grave. He can't TP. No scroll, no way out anyway with the mini stuns, and he's going to die as well.
He has 5 charges on the Magic Wand. I'm not sure why he didn't pop that. Maybe
he was, dude, there's no way he's living through that.
Maybe he could actually try to kill 1437. He was pretty low, but yeah, it wasn't too close, so he just gave it up. Meanwhile, though, look at the Roshan, Medallion Courage on Pycat, Maelstrike, and throughout the cloak of all the confusion, free Aegis, and that's when you look over Neolution. It's like, what the hell is actually going on right now? Why are we losing this so bad?
Yeah, I mean, Medallion a solid item on the Weaver in general, as he already has the minus armor from the bugs, and the synergy between that and Medallion is quite nice, and needs the mana regen as well, but especially when you add level 4 meld on top of that, that's plenty of minus armor to bring down Roche, especially this early when Roche is fairly squishy, hasn't gained that much HP just yet, and, well, Blah really struggling at this point in the game. He's got his Staff of Wizardry up, he's finding kills here and there, but not really able to have a big impact. That Sunstrike Invoker really reliant on his team to create the opportunities, and we've only seen a few created for him. And it's not like the team's playing poorly. A lot of it is just the matchup where there's not easy kills. Even a hero like Clockwork is quite tanky. Of course, Darkseer very survivable with Mech and Surge, and even when they're finding the kills, it's 3 or 4 heroes. Just a big investment for a single kill. Mid lane. Here's the tower. Oh, nice deny.
Oh, looks like she might be in a little bit of trouble right now. Maelstrike not going to dodge anything. Sentry Ward down, but look at the damage being done here. Sunstrike's going to hit on top, bullseye. There's the Aegis being taken away, so...
Oh, Misery. They give out a hook. He hasn't thrown it just yet. Man up from G is trying to probably wait for a Blake from question marks, which we're not seeing just yet. Going in with the Rockets. Now, thinking about a hook. Nothing just yet. Hooks the creeps. Misery. Oh, no. But the mech is here. Brax vacuums 2 inside the cogs, but there's nothing to damage them. and it actually looks like they might have to run. G still giving chase. No blink just yet. Turns around, thinks about Lei. There's your surge. There's your big damage. Down Lei will go. Double for G. Wants some more. Ion Shell up as well, but no additional surge just yet. It is cooling down. Cold Snaps to fly. G gonna Mel dodge that last auto attack and will get out of the tower scot-free. Or actually, he's still in tower range, but just gonna, well, basically Cold Snap runs out there, so he gets away.
Yeah, G's so good on those Mail Strikes. If it's not being detected by sentries or tower, he's dodging your attacks or your Shadow Strikes or whatever your projectile base spell is. And that Blink Dagger is basically going to mean it's going to be the death of these support heroes like Shadow Demon and Dazzle. Now, they're going to be annoying with things like Disruption and Grave, but still, eventually, they're going to get outlasted by that Refraction as well as those Blink Mail Strikes.
You know, the one thing we haven't seen yet is much action from the Lifestealer, and that really has to do with the hero composition of LGD International. Hero like Templar Assassin, not really a good target. Oh, we're going to go with the Sunstrike. Oh, boy. A wild 1437 appears that is immediately stuffed into a Pokeball. Just killed off in short order there. But I mean, the other heroes, not so easy kills.
Sunstrike at this point, it's dealing a ton of pure damage output. What is it, like 350 pure damage? That's rivaling a level 1 ultimate from heroes like Luna.
Oh,
Luna, excuse me.
Oh no, G man's up, but little does he know the backup is here. He's walking in front of a sentry. Blink Scream, available in a few seconds. Now the Purge, some hate on G. G will die. Threw away the Aegis earlier, now throws away his life again. A little bit sloppy from LGD in the mid game. Feels like they just assume they have this one in the bag. Ninja Boogie on the run top lane, but has Rage. He's going to wear off soon, though. He needs to get inside a creep. The creeps aren't here just yet, but he'll be okay. Forces the TP. Pycat will back off.
Yeah, I mean, like, right now, there's so much survivable power on the Radiant side. Heal, Disruption, Grave. So, generally, I mean,
and Rage.
Dodge. And Rage. I mean, you could jump in as a Templar and try to get a lot of kills. Oh, no. What is Lei doing there? Couple right clicks and a Grave, and again,
he's already TP'd though, and Pycat knows that. Pycat's gonna die for this kill, and I think Lei's about to die. Pycat may trade his life though. He's out of mana. He'll wand up. Sunstrike gonna hit. Oh boy! Boom! Right in the face. He's running into tower range. One hit will spell his doom. Oh no! Sniper blah. Wow, he's really accelerated. The Sunstrike's on the money this game for the most part, and that one no setup. You know, you can't count on the movement pattern, but it pays off there. Delivers it. And
the most awkward thing was he died to tower at the end. That was like, what?
He had no way out. I mean, there's just nothing he could do. I guess he could have ran back the other way, but, you know, even then you're risky running into the rotating enemy heroes. And great Sunstrike play overall.
Yeah, not going to take anything away from the blah.
His Sunstrikes haven't been the problem. It's just Invoker as a hero against this lineup.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not like he's a bad Invoker player by any means. It's just that he doesn't have the room or time to do what he wants to do. Speaking of the Darkseer, look at his inventory. We talked about how rich he was. Now he's really showing it as a mech and working towards a pipe.
Oh, man.
Shots to come, and they're going to lift him up as well. Perhaps not best chain stun. Oh, LG. Oh, there's going to be a Sunstrike on Mystery. Look at the chunk of HP. The mech's going to be saving him just for momentary as he's going to get blown as well. And it looks like they're going to slow on Brax. Brax going to take that poison and it's taking too long to set in.
Oh, he doesn't have level 3 poison, actually. I feel that's a bit of a mistake. It's so good once you get level 3. You get that actual guaranteed stun. Top lane, Ninja Boogie, man fight, pops out of the infest, but not enough to get the kill. Meanwhile, back to bottom lane where the real action is picking up. Here we go. Disruption Soul Catcher into the Meteor on the other side. Driving G back, removing those refraction charges, and now we're going to see question marks on the hunt. G, fresh refraction applied. That'll be the end of the aggression. Sunstrike is here, and he's inside their heads now. Look at the dodging for 1437. Terrified. The fight rages on top lane. Ninja Boogie and Pycat still duking it out. These two heroes almost, it's just like neither of them can really kill the other, so pretty funny back and forth, but Pycat the winner in the end will force that Lifestealer to TP back to base.
Yeah, also, I mean, look at that as a skill build. You talked about having max poison is a good thing,
well,
but
3. You want 3 for the stun.
For 3, yeah, you want to actually take up that poison touch quite a bit, but he's actually putting lots of point of grave, which, I mean, it's working out. It's making G die a little bit more because he's diving for these kills, expecting those grave to be on cooldown. But hey, it's being quite effective so far. He's going to have it whenever that his team needs it, basically. And of course, leveling up also increase the cast range. Very, very useful for saving allies from afar.
Well, Luby, after a lot of big overextensions from LGD.int, I'm feeling like NeoES.int is starting to stabilize a bit here. They're getting their core items up. The Orchid's not too far off on the Queen of Pain. The Armlet coming soon on the Lifestealer. And sure, you have a really fat Darkseer who's gone for an incredibly fast mech, and now heading towards the pipe in the form of Brax, and that will allow them to maybe take down the tier 2s, but I'm not so sure they can actually break the base with this lineup. G, not particularly farmed, is just now working towards the Desolator. The support's not particularly farmed. It's really all the money concentrated in the hands of Brax, and a pipe and a mech on a Darkseer is not necessarily going to be enough to win you the game flat out. So despite NeoEvolution.int having the big disadvantage early, a lot of mistakes from LGD.int, a lot of overextension, and some good play from NeoEnt, I think they still have a decent shot at taking this game too.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that here. Templar Assassin just recently picks up a mid-throw hammer. I think this is a great game to get Black King Bar right after your Blink Dagger, so that's what I'm gonna be expecting. If he wants to go Desolator, that's not too bad either, especially if you're gonna have the next Roshan secure, and I imagine they will, between Mel Strike as well as the Dowling Courage. It should be a very, very easy take, so it's gonna be up to him. Meanwhile, LGN looking to pressure in the bot lane a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure why they want to be there. Pressuring towers is one thing, but you don't want to put 2 or 3 heroes, in danger while doing so.
Yeah, they could maybe be farming the enemy jungle, but it looks like they're going to push the lane and then they'll head off to do that. I hear a
Sunstrike top lane on Pycat. Pycat's going to dodge out. He's going to backtrack, and he should be fine. Meteor being dropped on top. This guy is like basically playing some Invoker Simulator in this game right now. He's just dropping every single spell, not landing in those occasions, but still very good accuracy so far.
But you got to credit Pycat. I mean, we've seen him die once, but for the most part, he's just been forcing the rotations in from everyone on the enemy team. Disruption, Soul Catcher is here. Sunstrike not able to be invoked, so I don't think they could actually get this kill, but they're going to try for it, and maybe with the Cold Snap they can. There's no time lapse. He's going to Sakuchi away, out of range. The follow-up, the poison is going to be there. The 3 stacks. Oh, it's just short. Blink, scream. Down she goes. Pycat will pay, but that's 5 heroes. Meanwhile, Brax is fine. I'm going to break the base bottom lane by myself. Drops the double Ion Shell. Going to work on the tower. He'll look to surge way down. Here comes the teleport from Queen of Pain, but these 2 heroes can do nothing to stop that surge. And Misery cogs one in. Maybe we're going to see a wall. This would be a good place for it, but no, they decide to back off. Still the chase. 4 question marks. Has that Orchid up real soon, and then we're not going to see this Weaver or this Darkseer be able to be nearly as aggressive, because that Orchid is going to shut them down if they do it. So I think the window for this kind of split push is about to end.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, right now Weaver can't enjoy that split push farm. Even Brax got to be very careful now. He's not going to die, but an Orchid on top and Sunstrike, Soul Catcher, that's a lot of damage amplification. Even he has to be a little bit concerned with this big DPS output available on the Radiant side. And let's talk about the late game, because we're kind of approaching there. Sure, the Radiant is kind of still not looking too good because their towers are in big, big trouble. But if they hold for a couple more seconds or a couple more minutes, they will have pretty much, already getting to late game. They're going to go on G. The Purge on top, but it actually doesn't do any damage. And that's going to allow him to blink Shadow Strike on top. Silence, Poison, Sunstrike, bang, bang. This is insane.
Sniping, YOLO, MLG 420. In the house. They bring him down. I mean, just everything being thrown at him. Blah on the point again with the Sunstrikes. The setup was there. The coordination for Neolution really starting to come alive here as we head towards the mid game. I mean, you said late game, and maybe we're even getting close to that. Look at how farm Brex is. Pipe, Mech, he's pretty much at that mid to late game farm for Darkseer. They're looking to go in bottom right now. Ninja Boogie has that Rage. Could Rage TP out? They actually have one way to stop it, though. That would be the hook and the cogs as well if it's on top of him. The cogs already used. Man up from Ninja Boogie. Misery now to be searched away. Pops out of the infest, perhaps a bit premature. Ninja Boogie, no Rage for him. Needs to armlet toggle. Gets Grave. So damn survivable. Still has the stick charges as well. The Orchid of Pycat. Sunstrike not gonna land, but oh man, 1437 steals the Grave, keeps Pycat alive, who's now on the run, on the way out. A blink in from 4 question marks, gets the kill. The poison, I believe, enough to bring down that Weaver in the end. The Scream available, could even look for more. And they're winning these fights. You talked about it, the survivability. Rage, Grave, Infest, the heal from Shadow Wave, it's too much. LGD.int just really lacking on the burst damage. G is their main form, but he doesn't really have the items to provide true burst at this point in the game.
Yeah, I mean, he got a double damage read right there. Wasn't able to do too much because, again, the Radiant is just so... the mobility factor, let's not underestimate that either. This will force tap up Invoker. Queen of Pain is a very difficult hero to bring down because of that cooldown on the Blink. And with the Orchid being picked up, and the fact that your Radiant supports, they're great late game supports. Soul Catchers is a great one. Weave from Dazzle can never be underestimated, as well as his Grave. And of course, Invoker, he's going for the Exort build, so there's a ton of damage output, as well as a lot of CC just from the Invoker himself. We got ourselves a game here. LGD.int might be the more experienced team. They might be the team that's going to the G League Finals, but Neolution's giving them a run for their money.
Yeah, there's still some fight left in this dog, and I'm almost at that point where I want to say I think it's Neolution.int who have the advantage, even though they're down a bit in terms of golden experience. Not quite yet, but they're closer than you would think just looking at the charts, and it really goes back to their hero composition being very durable and LGD International not having much true lockdown. Just a Rubik lift and, you know, say your hookshot, your cogs, which are not reliable true lockdown. And not the hardest carry either. Pycat playing that Weaver, G playing that Templar Assassin, which rushed to Blink Dagger, going for more of a mid-game oriented focused build. And now we're going to see a Basher for Ninja Boogie. That'll be the next choice for him. If he gets that Basher up, he can man up in these team fights, and they don't have the stuns like a Roar, a Reverse Polarity to just shut him down. As well as the Queen of Pain. We've seen 4 question mark in the mid-game, just moving through the team fights freely, and on top of that, well, our Scythe Device is coming next on Invoker, and once he gets that out, they'll have everything they need to bring G's Templar Assassin down. The Refraction, useless against Shadow Poison, Poison Touch, and of course, just the damage over time from the Invoker himself with that Meteor and Cold Snap combo, and, well, TA not that survivable. Even our Weaver, I'm not sure how long Pycat will live for. It looks like he's maybe going Linked's next, but Linked's ain't going to save you for completely in this game by any means.
Yeah, we're starting to see the quote-unquote Weaver problem. Really needs a lot of items to be actually effective, and so far it doesn't have enough farm to actually get those items online. Lincoln's going to be nice, but there's a lot of single-target spells. It basically means that he's not going to be killed, or it really would take Radiant too much resource for Weaver to die and make it an effective trade.
Oh, this bait top lane, the backup is coming. Ninja Boogie is going to man up on 3, and surprisingly, LGD not worried about it. Sunstrike to fly, 1437 was actually still engraved. He'll live, but the Orchid is there, brings down the Weaver in a matter of seconds, and now the Poison slow. G's in trouble. Next in line, they were prepared for this one. There's your Shallow Grave from the Radiant side. The E just popped out. Queen of Pain still doing work on the backlines. Once some more, Misery to fall next. Brax has joined the fight, but he is just not doing quite enough damage. Finally, the lifesteal goes down. Double for 4 question mark. G may be in trouble. Brax, pipe mech on the cooldown. Now looking to run away. Potentially, actually maybe looking to man up here, but Blah has arrived. Blah has pretty much full mana. Can definitely blast out of this? No, he can't, unfortunately. So G will be able to sit inside that meld for the moment. Now blinks away, but they're on the run, Luby. Make no mistake about it. 1437. He's going to fall as well. 3 heroes dead. They're winning the 5v5 clash right now. This was LGD with an Aegis. The trade is there. 3 for 3, but trading evenly when you're down towers. Okay, Sunstrike to fly. Not going to connect. G-man's up. Oh, man. Maybe he's going to turn this around. Grave. No mana for TP, but Blah's here with the cold snap. Brady G low. G to fall. Wicked sick from 4 question mark. 18 to 13. Pycat rejoin the fight, but can he actually find a kill? It doesn't look like it.
Queen of Pain runs away with like 100 HP. TP back from the lave on Dazzle. He runs away. Invoker runs away with low mana. TP's home as well. We talked about it. The Graves, the disruptions, the rage, just so much survivability power. Everybody popped their magic wand. It felt like twice in that team fight. It was a long one. And it feels like when you have long team fights, heroes like the Templar Assassin, the Queen of Pain, the mobility heroes, they could come in and out of team fight quite a bit, and it was Radiant hero that really won it overall. They're just simply too mobile. Weaver got picked off way early in the team fight, so he wasn't a factor, and to be honest, he won't be a factor for a long time because, again, he lacks the damage.
Great map awareness from Neolution.int. They just have this Sentry Ward in the lane with the tower up, and the second that we see an Invis Misery in the lane, immediately multiple heroes pinging that, so they're feeling confident, man. They're feeling like they had the chance to win this game, really playing their hearts out, not playing like they're behind, and I mean, that was good rotation, good movement for them. LGD, normally they have aggressive lane wards, but they didn't have one top. They were not prepared for those 2 supports to come in, and LGD, they just overstayed their welcome, and we really see the difference in staying power right now. Weaver gets silenced, he dies. You go on the lifesteal, you throw everything you have at him, and he just tanks through it all, and then lives forever and a day. Finally, Ninja Boogie falls in the end, but the damage at that point, well, long done, and we're looking at a Queen of Pain now, who's going to have a Scythe device of her own. Once they get this double Scythe up, dare I say it, I don't think LGD is going to have much of a shot to take a fight.
Yeah, I completely agree. The laking power of LGD is just not showing up. I love the fact that he's going for a very offensive item in the Scythe device compared to a BKB. I mean, I don't think this is the game to go BKB. You have to back up from your supports, so trust in them and make sure you do as much damage as possible. And here it comes. LG
Big
says,
smoke.
all right, you guys are a little bit ahead. The smoke is going to really take us into the fight. They want to kill the Dazzle or on the Shadow Demon immediately. They are easy to hear the burst down, and they're gonna snipe off from Courier. No, Courier flies by. Oh, Pycat, Pycat.
Oh no.
He's gonna get the Courier. Even put a medallion that says no armor
Meanwhile,
for you.
G gets caught, but the hook is there. The Cogs on 2 for Misery. No Cogs, too late. Only catches 1. We'll catch that Queen of Pain, but she'll simply blink out, doing whatever he can. Ninja Boogie is low. Queen of Pain ult completely airballed, but still, oh, actually not airballed. Got Misery. Thought it was an airball. 1437 in the middle of the fight. Not really where he wants to be. Lay manning up as a Shadow Demon. Wow, that wall, incredible, but this Queen of Pain play maybe even better. I don't know, though. 4 heroes dead. It's all up to you to run away. 4 question mark. They fought in the wall. They fought in the cogs. That was a perfect surround, basically, and the cogs just doing so much disruptive work. That in the wall, really turning the fight for LGD.int. They need to fight in a congested area like that, and what a time to have that fight. Before the 2 slices of ice are up, a crucial timing window for them. The third Roche, not all that far off. This is an opportunity for them now to look at a tier 2.
Again, a great initiation from LG, picking out the supports. They're easy to kill when you don't let them cast their spells, and because of that, the Lifestealer as well as the Invoker went down very quickly. Queen of Pain almost went down, if not for not that haste rune, so she got out of there, and of course, LGD will take their Spoils of the War, which is a tier 2 tower here. Of course, Roshan will be back in just a couple of minutes, so they will be looking towards that as well, and that's going to be the third one with Aegis and Cheese. The fight that the way that these fights have been breaking out, LGD needs every bit of those tiny advantage. And hopefully they will get their Aegis.
G does have the BKB up now. Now he'll start going for some additional damage. Looking at Ayasha from him. Brax has been going... Well, he's been going for this Shivas for a while. Not going for that early sight device, which I feel they're lacking on lockdown. They did win that fight, but that's like the worst area ever to fight. That's probably the best possible engagement LGD ever could have hoped for. A congested area with the cogs bouncing everyone around. The wall being deployed to cut off the pattern of retreat. The supports being eliminated right off the bat. If you have a more orderly fight, I still think it's going to be neolution.int having the more durable carries overall, and I think that sight device for Brax is something they're really going to need, so look for him to go for that next once he completes his Shivas, up to 3,000 gold. Maybe he's not sure which direction he wants to go. He could go back for sight device, it wouldn't be that far behind. The casual plate mail is pretty decent against Lifestealer and Exhort Invoker. We will just have to wait and see. As for our Queen of Pain, slows down the aggressive build, goes back for a Ghost Scepter, delaying her big build up to that sight device. Where's our Invoker? Well, he's got it now. So sight device up on Blah. And this could be a tide turner with the sight device, as well as just the burst damage, the Orchid from the Queen of Pain. We may see this Weaver not long for this world. Pycat desperately trying to finish his Linked Sphere, which he's really going to need now, but might not even be enough in the end. We'll see.
I'm not so sure whether Hex is that good on Darkslayer in this particular game, because, again, you could Hex the Queen of Pain, but she's going to get Grave, she's going to rejoin the fight with the Blink, so maybe Shivas to do a little bit more AoE damage to hopefully get the AoE slow on the supports and pick them off. Of course, if you get the Hex on Dazzle and Shadow Demon, or Dazzle and, yeah, Shadow Demon, those are the good targets, but I imagine they will stay very, very far back.
We'll see. Yeah, you're right. I mean, if they have good position, it won't be that effective. But we've seen LGD.int, maybe they could find another smoke gank. We'll have to wait and see. Neolution, despite losing that big fight, they're confident. They're looking to force things mid. They have the Basher up on Ninja Boogie. They know that third Roche is spawning too. That's going to mean cheese. That's a big Roche for LGD.int to get if they can. The tower will fall mid. The Forward Spirits now up to the 2 Forward Spirits for Blah, so can look to get aggressive, scouting that Roche constantly and going to make it... I imagine for LGD, they're not going to have quite as easy of a time once Roche respawns in about 2 minutes. Lincoln's coming soon for Pycat. They'll finally have that out and be a bit more durable in the fights, but Sight Device also coming soon for 4 question marks. So at this point in the game, really feels like it's going to come down to those big item pickups and then the positioning for both teams, as it so often does.
Yeah, right now the Dire wants to use that split pushing power from heroes like Templar Assassin with the Blink as well as Weaver, but the problem is you also got to respect the initiation power, of course, from the Cypher Vise, from the Orchid, so you can see that Pycat, he wants to push the lane on the bottom, but he's also got to be very, very careful. Sees Queen of Pain, and that's cute for him to back off. Yeah, he's staying. He really got to be very, very careful.
Yeah, he's confident. Pycat, nothing if not. Oh boy. Almost silenced there. I think they can blow him up if they get the silence off. He's still quite squishy, only 1,300 health, but...
Ooh, Queen of Pain has a Ghost Scepter. Interesting.
Yeah, she went back for it after they lost that fight. I think just decided she needed that little extra damage to deal with the melt strikes from the TA as well as the physical damage with the medallion. I mean, they have a lot of minus armor, so it's kind of understandable, but it does delay your Sight Device. Do
you feel that that's too safe? I mean, it makes sense and all. Do you think... I think she could just go straight Scythe, to be honest.
I think the thought process was just like, we lost a huge fight, I almost died to all that physical damage, I'm not feeling so confident anymore, and that's probably the thought process. I do feel like getting the Scythe is overall going to give your team a better chance to just win a fight convincingly. We will see. They might get caught, though. Pycat's lurking in the jungle. He's going to back off for Roche, which is about to respawn. All the lanes pretty reasonably pushed. There's your Sunstrike. Will bring Pycat down to health and spots him out, of course. They'll time-lapse it. It has a very low cooldown at this point in the game, but they're not really in position to fight this. They're trying to get there. Ninja Boogie rotating in, has the Hyperstone up, and... Uh-oh. Long-range hook from Misery. Queen of Pain, though, the one who gets caught. She'll blink away, and Hardchico now on the run. If that catches the Shadow Demon, I think that's a kill and potentially a free Roche, but unfortunately catches the Queen of Pain.
And here we go, the entire team is available. Invoker is the person to really look out for, who he saves, where he saves. Ninja Boogie just charges in. I mean, he's by far the tankiest hero. Once he pops his armlet, he's going to be near a 2k HP with a lot of armor, so he is a great frontline tank. He's been going down all these fights, but still getting farm, getting the big items, and uh-oh.
I think he's doing his job for the most part, like you said.
He's meant to die, quote-unquote. And of course, if he's being kept alive longer and longer by his 2 supports, then more power to these backups.
Ooh, they've actually changed the illusion icon on the minimap. At least when you're a spectator. Interesting. Just the minor little improvements, I guess, as we continue to see that fight at the Roach Pit. There's your big Shiva slow. Blot will force staff away. Not the easiest hero to pick off, and I mean, good positioning from the supports. Safely tucked away behind the carries. Something they really have to maintain discipline for as we continue to basically skirmish over Roche.
Yeah, having Clockwork is so nice here. You could actually use those rockets for sight like he's doing right now, or if you worry a little bit more about creep equilibrium, you could send it in lane and basically eventually force the Radiant to actually back off. Seems like the Radiant is ready to take a fight as there is an infest into the Queen of Pain. Although still jungling for quite a bit, and eventually the Radiant team has to go back. You see another rocket flying up top. Eventually the Radiant has to go back and defend the creep equilibrium.
They don't have a Keeper of the Light. They have no way to instantly get someone back here. No boots of travel up on any of their heroes. So as soon as someone goes back, they're coming in. Maybe Invoker should be sending his Forge Spirits to try and basically draw the creep wave back. At least one of them. Sure, you're not scouting their heroes out constantly, but if you don't go back, your base gonna start to take a bit of damage. The wave is pretty big top, and I imagine with this next push, well, they're gonna go now. Tornado to start. Infest Bomb pops out on the high ground. They instantly burst down Misery. The Clockwork getting the pick off there. I think just Blink straight up onto the high ground. Now the Sight device up on Queen of Pain simultaneously. I don't know if they want to go Roche even with that. There's a Darks here with the Shivas, level 3 wall, mech, and pipe, and you're fighting in the pit. But they may try for it. Here they go.
Yeah, there's a trap scouting everything out, so the Dire knows, and looks like Brax might be getting ready to walk in. But it's a very, very tenuous position. Again, Blink Scythe here from 1437. He's on the run. Can you get the bash? No bash just yet. Surge, mech, pipe, everything just to keep him alive. But will it be enough? Blink Strike. Oh, Vacuum. Where's the wall on top? No Shiva. There's finally the Shiva. Wall being dropped. That's a good start here for LGD. But, oh no, the Queen of Pain just do way too much damage. Now focusing on Brax. Brax is going to get picked off as well. Huge Sonic Wave from the Queen of Pain as well. They see GG's also going to get picked off. Not before Misery has any say to that. Sunstrike comes down. And finally, they also bring down Dream Misery, the sole survivor. I don't think he will survive for long. Great Ice Wall on top. They're still slowly working on top to Cog keeping alive. Blah trying to fight those bugs. Where's Pycat speaking? Where's Pycat fighting out? He dies to Infest Bomb here from Ninja Boogie.
Oh, man.
Just a huge win here from Neolution.
Brax almost had, like, the perfect initiation. He goes in after the wall was dropped. He hit 4 or 5 heroes with the Shivas and was going to get hit a 3 or 4 hero vacuum. But Blah threw a deafening blast at him, and that completely disrupted the team fight tempo for LGD.int. I don't know if they would have won that fight anyway, because you can see Wall just isn't really that effective against heroes like Lifestealer, Invoker, Queen of Pain. These are primarily casters, heroes that don't really have strong illusions. But, I mean, that disruption of the vacuum with that simple deafening blast really breaks the fight wide open for NeoES. Here comes Misery, gonna jump in, steals, I think, the cheese. Or did he actually get anything? No, just feeds away his life in the end.
Good attempt. I mean, he forced that from high ground to low ground, and he might have actually taken the Aegis, but it just wasn't enough and threw away a kill. I mean, throwing away that extra kill.
It's worth it. I mean, even if you don't get it, worth the risk, because
he's a level 9 clock, like whatever.
This game is slipping away from LGD in a hurry.
Yeah, it really is. And I was talking about the late game about 20 minutes ago. Neolution was able to hold on to those outer towers, hold on to the Raxus, and hey, in this late game situation, when you have 2 Scythe Device up, when you have intense AoE, and of course the mobility factor from the Queen of Pain and Invoker really starting to take a wall. Another reason why the wall is not that good, those illusions, well, they can't blink, they can't chase after that Invoker, so they just walk away from the wall, and basically the wall does nothing.
Yeah, they don't have any Rs, they don't have Diffusal Blade on any of these heroes. It's one of the weaker, if not the weakest hero compositions to have wall against. And an ability that really doesn't scale. It's not, Darkseer is not a hero like Magnus where, you know, his ultimate is always going to be game-breaking if you land it. It can be game-breaking in some fights at certain points in the game against certain lineups, but you saw in that fight it was a decent wall. The vacuum wasn't quite on time with the wall, but it doesn't really matter against a hero like Lifestealer who's got so much survivability. You have the mech on Dazzle, all the heals to come from him, the Grave as well. And with this Aegis on Queen of Pain now, I think NeoES.int, they basically just need to find a couple Infest Bomb kills. Would like to see them pick up a gem and start dewarding the map, because really, it's the advantage is definitely on their side now. They haven't won by any means. They could still lose this game, but they should feel confident to start taking down some towers, and they're going to start top with this tier 1.
Yeah, at this point here, Radiant just simply need to play safe. Save your buyback. Don't really need to progress your item too much, because you're leading by item progression by quite a bit. And Dire, because they're losing these team fights, they're not getting item too much either. Speaking walls, that Invoker Ice wall is also doing a lot of work. It doesn't work too well against Surge or Sakuchi, but against all the other heroes, they're moving slow as a crawl. The supports are not getting anywhere, and that's going to be free picking for heroes like Lifestealer and Queen of Pain.
Where's the damage right now for LGD.int? I just don't feel they have enough burst. You're up against so many basically tide-turning abilities and disruption. We're looking to go top. Blink in. There's your Orchid to start, the site to follow, but Pycat barely gets off the Sakuchi. That's the one nice thing with the Linkage. It gives you that extra split second to go, and, well, they don't get the kill. They do pop that Linkage, and now looking for a tier 2 top. Meanwhile, Blah going to comfortably defend bottom, knowing that he can at least throw a Sunstrike in. Not really quite as good as having a Prophet defending another lane, but hey, something they'll take. And for the moment, not going for the tier 2, but I like the way NeoES.int is playing this, not too aggressive. They're parking themselves behind the Lifestealer. They're not giving LGD.int an easy opening to just get some smoke gank pickoffs. And Invoker at the base, I mean, no way LGD.int goes for him. So I think the way they're playing it, smart, stable, and pretty safe.
Yeah, I feel like right now Dire needs really 3 or 4 Scythe Advice to start making that comeback. Ninja Boogie looks like he wants to take this fight. They see Brax, he's usually very tank, but is he able to tank all of this? He gets mech, he actually pops his fight. Sunstrike though. Oh no, don't even need that Sunstrike. Queen of Pain trying to blink away, has a Lifestealer invest inside, so look towards her to rejoin that fight. Looks like this Shadow Demon is gonna make it there out alive as well. And here comes that Lifestealer bomb. Oh, backtrack on Pycat.
Still chasing. Here comes the backup, though. Clockwork has arrived into the form Misery. Will he find a good hook? G-Man's up, expecting that hook backup, but he's going to die very quickly, unless the cogs are there. Unfortunately, they push Ninja Boogie towards the kill. Now open wounds on Misery. Man up, bash, chop, smack, down will go. Ninja Boogie wants some more. On to G, who just fought back, hides under the tower, now lay in trouble. He may fall. He graves. He doesn't have mana for a TP. The wand's on cooldown, so he will die at the end. But throws his life away for the Darks here, for the Clockwork. In the end, not a bad trade, and remember, they had the Invoker on the bottom side of the map for a decent chunk of it. Blah only just arriving now. So, considering the way the fight developed, they force out the buyback on TA. They hold on to their Aegis on Queen of Pain. A wand fight for NeoES.int, albeit not quite as convincing as they would like, but still a wand fight.
Yeah, it definitely is a wand fight. I mean, sure, if they drop a little bit more heroes, that's fine, because buybacks are forced out. That means LGD is not getting any other items, and by not getting items, they're not going to win this game. Keep in mind that, again, Invoker wasn't even there. So this fight, whatever, for the Radiant team, they're keeping their lead. They're making sure that Dire is not getting more items, and eventually LGD is going to get starved out. Not Queen of Pain, the Templar Assassin. Her effectiveness is simply going to drop. I mean, sure, she has decent burst damage still, but eventually they're going to survive that burst damage. And here we go, they're going to focus on top. Tornado, not exactly a combo, but force that back out here against G. Can you actually focus him down? Does pop the BKB. There's a Purge on top, slowing him down. It still pops a haste and runs back out. So G, throughout using a lot of items from him and his team, was able to survive, but that tier 2 not going to get defended as a result.
Yeah, Pycat doing the smart thing. They're going to have a lot of trouble taking a fight outside the base. They really rely on an amazing vacuum wall combo at this point in the game to win the fight, along with the Shivas. But with Aegis and Cheese up, it's going to be hard to even take this fight. They're manning up. They're going for the tier 3 right now. They're going for Rax and Weaver, as well as Darkseer. Brax desperately trying to trade bottom, but can they hold on long enough, Lumi? That's going to be the question. Rax about to fall, and I think with this, we're going to see immediate TPs out already. They're happening. Blot at bottom lane. We'll see some to top in a few seconds. Pycat not able to do it fast enough. NeoES.int, they get in, they get the kills, and now they look to get out, and question marks, wants to go back in. Top lane, Pycat, maybe in a little bit of trouble here. Oh boy, oh no, as soon as I look away, they jump in with the Infest Bomb. Now they're going to get the rain tracks. They kill up the Clockwork. Still nobody going on Pycat yet. Now the TPs will fly. Pycat trying to run. Could be disrupted. Sentry Wards and Observer deployed. Purge to start. Disruption available to follow up. And here comes Queen of Pain. Has the Orchid. No sight device just yet. Blinks forward. Gonna find him with the Orchid now. And Pycat in a whole world of trouble. Dead to rights. Disconnects.
Man.
I think they're about to call GG. Oh no, maybe not.
No. I don't think LGD would rage disconnect. It's just a little bit of technical difficulties, I imagine.
I don't think there's any rage. This game is really slipping away from them.
There's a lot of rage on LGD because they just can't kill anything. They're trying. And even Weaver trying to run away can't even do so against 3 or 4 heroes. So I mean, looking at the score right now, I haven't looked at it for a long while because there's so much team fight going on. 31-18, the goal chart is slipping away. I mean, there was a huge lead, close to 10,000 lead at one point for the Dire. Look at that, it's going the other direction. Brax was farmed, but like you were talking about during the mid game, it's only a Darkseer, so it's not going to have that huge impact, especially when it's not really, his wall is not really effective.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're going to go into game 3 just looking at how this game is going so far.
It's possible potentially for LGD to win, but it's going to take some throws from neolution.int. The game really is in their grasp right now. They've got the better late game composition. They went for the better late game items too. They went for the early Slice of Ice. They went for the Orchid. They weren't going for items that are more mid-game oriented, like a Blink Dagger on the Templar Assassin, then the BKB. I mean, sure, items that maybe you need if you want to be aggressive in the mid-game, but a Blink Dagger doesn't really do anything for you at this point in the game if you're G. He's not initiating. He's running for his life most of the time. Had he just gone maybe for the Yasha, perhaps they'd have some more scaling, some more burst damage, but they just can't bring anyone down fast enough. And whereas for neolution.int, they are not suffering for damage. They've got the multiple Slice of Ice, the Cold Snap combo, the burst damage from a max Exhort Invoker, and now getting close to maxing out his Wex as well. The double Forge Spirits, they are not suffering for damage. They're not suffering for disables. They're up a lane of Rax. It's feeling like LGD.int is going to have to pull this one out in a game 3 because it's just not going their way right now, and their lineup only going to get weaker from here.
Yeah, once the Exhort Invoker is starting to throw out tornadoes and out controlling you, you're in big trouble because he's not only DPSing like crazy with AoE, he's also disrupting you with like EMP, with tornadoes. Deafling Blast is becoming more and more of an issue. Weaver connect back, but this game not looking good.
And I think for a lot of people, maybe this is a bit of a surprise. LGD International, your G League second place team, they pushed IG to the brink in that game 4. Weren't able to force the deciding game 5, but a team that a lot of people think is top 3, top 4 in the Asian scene, if you count them as an Asian team right now, well, they're being challenged here by neolution.int, and for me, what it really shows is the depth of the Asian scene. I would say not the best performance from LGD in this game, not their strongest play we've ever seen, but even so, it's LGD freaking int. It's a strong team, and neolution.int, a team that's not unknown to those who've been following the smaller Asian Cups like the GEST, as well as the SEA League, a lot of these tournaments. neolution.int is a team that's gone reasonably deep in those, but they haven't won any of those events. They're sort of a tier 2, even tier 3 team, arguably, in the Southeast Asian scene, and they're still pushing LGD.int to what looks to be a game 3.
Yeah, I mean, with a combination of decent pick matchup here against LGD Zeros, as well as LGD.int's lineup completely caught in the pace of how this game is going for the Radiant team. Radiant wants to have these hectic engagements, frequent engagement, where the Grave and the Disruption is going to be useful.
Oh, baby.
LGD.int's looking for the...
We have a big Dagon coming out now, by the way.
On
Queen of Pain. Level 2 Dagon up, 3k gold still in the bag. Yeah, baby. Your classic... Well, this is really the classic Pinoy build for Queen of Pain, and just a fun build in general. When you have that Orchid, that Scythe Device, they want some more burst, now they're going to get it. All we need is the E-Blade after this gets maxed.
Yep, E-Blade, Dagon 5 with the Orchid on top, and the Sonic Wave if you really need it. Not many heroes will really survive that combo. LGD.int looking for more like uphill push with their item on Darkseer. If it never really got to that point, as these engagement were happening at the Secret Shop, they're happening in the river. Again, LGD.int just caught in the pace that neolution wants to play, and they're more excelled in that playstyle because of their heroes.
Yeah, normally with this LGD.int team, it does feel like either they win early or they just... It's very hard for them to turn the game around, and... Oh, top lane, we're gonna go. There's your Scythe Device. Now the Meteor, the Deathly Blast, just out of range. Didn't have the Cold Snap there. We will see an escape from our TA. But when Invoker's manning up 1v2 against your Darkseer Templar Assassin, that's trouble. And meanwhile, what also is trouble is our big Dagon just blowing 1437 up mid. The Orchid, the burst damage. Didn't even need the ultimate. The tier 2 to fall bottom. Pycat scurries his little bug legs back to the base. And they're going to go back in top. LGD.int doing the correct thing, which is trying to prevent NeoES from breaking another lane, but... How long can they really hold on? I'm just not sure. I think the end may be coming soon, Lumi.
Abyssal gets finished on the Lifestealer.
Oh,
of course,
boy.
if you look at Queen of Pain, she has enough gold to go Dagon level 5 right now.
She's going again. She's about to go mid.
She sees it. Gotta break that.
Jam it in.
And silence. Yup. Dagon. Bang. Sonic Wave on top. And Sunstrike to seal the deal. But the Orchid extra damage output will bring it down. Dagon 5, please. I know you're saving your buyback. I know you're playing safe. Which I completely recommend, but
Nice.
people.
19-1-5 for our Queen of Pain. What a sensational performance from her. And it really shows you the lack of stuns as well for LGD and hurting them now as they look to break a second lane of Rax. An additional blink in from our Queen of Pain, but maybe not an ideal one. She's Ghost Sceptered up, trying to live for now. Is going to eat some heals. Ninja Boogie, man mode for him. Stunned up, thrown back into the fight. Queen of Pain to jump away. Now the infest inside of the full HP creep. In comes Blah from the sidelines. There's no split push. They're going to have to man fight the way out. And nobody's man fighting this ghoul. Not right now. 1437 rage and still dead. The walls deployed, but not really going to do enough, it feels. Ninja Boogie manning up, dashing down. G to fall. More dives into the fountain. Brax forced to run away. Queen of Pain on the hunt once some more. 21-7. Fragging like a champ right now, and it looks like we're headed to that game 2, or that deciding game 3 is this game 2, heavily in favor of Neolution.int. 2 lanes of Rack. LGD International playing really well in the early stage, but just not able to put it together in the mid game. Good bend but don't break defense. They tap out. We go to game 3.
Wow, what a Sunstrike, and Brax gonna get blown as well. Just a sensational game to watch, sensational game to play. Hope you guys at home are having as much as fun as we are. We saw some great Sunstrike. We saw some heroes that we don't see too often. Dazzle, Invoker, really impressive stuff from the Neolution. And
I just want to point out, if LGD loses this next game, they're done. There's no double elimination format. So, although I still would assume that they'll probably have the edge in that game 3, Neolution.int has shown that they can take games off LGD. You can't underestimate them. Whoever wins this game 3 is moving on, and whoever loses it goes home. They're out of the G1 League entirely. They don't advance to Phase 3. There's no losers bracket. So LGD.int, they can't mess around. They've got to put it together for Game 3, Lumi, or we're not going to see them anymore in the G1 League, which may disappoint some people, but would certainly make Neolution.int very happy. With that being said, guys, stay tuned. I'm LD. He's Luminous. If you enjoy our casting, be sure to follow us, twitter.com/LuminousInverse and twitter.com/LDDota. Stay tuned. That deciding Game 3 between these 2 international teams coming up right after this.